Hey YouTube, Nova Piper. Showered fresh. Absolutely beautiful out. Should say there on the deck, almost 30 degrees on the deck in the shade, kinda. Smoking Rick Black, my Rick Black poker with the green swirly swirl stem. And I got some tobacco that was gifted to me by Giles. He's on YouTube, Giles Cassidy. And he gave me a whole bunch of different tobacco. We talk on Voxer. He's in Quebec, and we have similar tastes in tobacco. Our heavy, bold, full-bodied Latakia blends that we like. So he hooked me up with a whole bunch of different Balkan Latakia blends, English blends that I've never tried before. And that was great. And of course I try to say, here's some stuff I got, you interested in trying any of this? Like, you don't have to send me anything. And I feel, I don't know if I feel obligated, but it's just everything I've got he's tried, and he's like, that's not why I sent it to you. And that's what's cool about this community, just to try new things. So anyway, I've got a Dunhill, is it aperitif? I forget. The Dunhill that was in there. And I'm not a fan of Dunhill tobacco. I've never found a Dunhill blend that actually does it for me. And one of the big things about Dunhill is when I first light it, right now it tastes fantastic. And a lot of the other Dunhills I've tried, same thing. When you first light it up, it's absolutely great. But then I find as you get down towards the second half of the bowl, it gets all, I call it cigarette-y. It just loses its flavor. All tobacco changes flavor as you smoke it, but this just becomes unpleasant. However, I've never tried this, and just because it's Dunhill doesn't mean I'm not going to. So I will try it. It's the same as like the Lakelands. I love my Lakelands, Sam Gawath and Hogarth, but man, the Peachies gifted me some Black Twist Double X, and holy sweet Jesus, it's like black heart heroin, man. Giles sent me some G&H stuff. I didn't know he had a bro note in there, and I found it on the floor, and he said, watch this one, and I smoked it, and it was, whoa, it tore my head off. But like I say, every tobacco company's going to make a tobacco you don't like, but I'm going to keep trying. So Dunhill is a pretty popular brand of tobacco. Their cut is, their ribbon cuts are friggin' fantastic. It's a really it's good quality tobacco. So just because I don't like it or another person does, doesn't mean anything. I say that all the time. I just recently tried 965. It's great when you first light it up. And it gets really nasty. But I'll give it a chance. Yeah, so far so good. Got the real Tim Hortons today. A freshie. A freshie cup to repurpose. Pour the coffee out and put my own in it. I'm out of beans altogether. I drank all those beans that I got from the bean piper that he sent. I finished all those off, and they were pretty good, and I think you once again appreciate that. I love my coffee. It was, you're passionate about something like that, that's cool. He's obviously into it, and he likes to share what he's got, and that's fantastic. I enjoyed them. Like There's I'd like to find out if you have darker beans. I like really dark, strong coffee, and that stuff is pretty smooth. But I like it even darker. Here's today's project. Took yesterday's project and turned it into today's project. Was it yesterday or the day before? I put that together. It's a guitar pedal, a guitar effect. This one is This is made on. I got a bunch of PCBs that came in the mail, so I started putting some shit together. And this is based on it's called the Klon Centaur, which is an overdrive pedal, an old overdrive pedal. Now, overdrive pedals are usually used in front of a tube amp. What I mean by in front of is you plug your guitar cable into this, and then you plug the other end of it into your amp. That's how effects work. And an overdrive pedal is sort of a mild distortion. If you know anything about guitar effects, I'll do a whole talk about how that all came about someday. It's a good topic. It's got a great smell coming off it. It smells very chocolatey, but yet it tastes hardcore English. I'm noticing that lately. Bike season. Train. But yeah, this is a Klon Centaur, and an overdrive is you put it in the front of a tube amp and it boosts the signal and adds a little bit of clipping, and it really makes your tube amp sing. You put this on a solid state amp, it's not really the same. So I was missing a part. I took these two purple wires. I was missing a capacitor. I didn't have the right value, so I said, shit. Capacitors are usually, in these types of circuits, they shape the tone like the highs and the lows. Look at these knobs. I have a volume knob, I have a tone knob, and this is gain. This would be like distortion. And then the switch here is the toggle switch. And what that does is right here, there's a resistor at the top, and then there's two germanium diodes and there's silicone diodes below. So I can either put the two germanium ones in the circuit or those two silicone ones in the circuit by using that switch. And that has a lot to do with how the pedal sounds. It's called the clipping section. It's a fun way to modify your pedals and have some switches on it. But this capacitor here, what I did is, you can see all these wires I got hanging off. It looks complicated, but it's really not. I put it on one of them breadboards. So there's my 9-volt. Positive and ground right there, 9-volt. This is the missing capacitor. This here, these two wires are the signal in and the signal out. So your guitar jack has two wires, an in and an out. So your grounds all go together. The ground off your guitar plugs all go to the same rail. That goes to the positive 9-volt. That's the tip. This is the input, so this is the tip off of one of the guitar jacks, and that's the tip, the output off the other, so that's the tip of the other guitar jack. And that's it. That's how you hook it up. And then I plugged this in the breadboard, and I just kept plugging different capacitors in and seeing how it sounded. And I went, oh fuck, that's not so bad. I don't need to go out and wait till I get them, missing components. When I put my order in, I totally skipped it. So I tried a few different variations and said, I'll go in now and check my inventory. I got a database, and it calls for a 398 picofarad. And I'm going to try I think I'm going to put a 470 picofarad in there in its place. And that's going to take some of the sharpness off of it. It's going to take some of that high tone out of it. Because I find with my tone knobs, I never cranked them all the way up. If I don't like it, I got another board in there. This is sort of my prototype board, I guess. But and then I got to take that and all this stuff to make it all fit in this little case. I got 2 guitar jacks, 9-volt power, a little LED indicator to let you know when it's on, and a foot switch. This is what you stomp on to turn it on and off. And these are soldered right onto the board, so I gotta kind of like do it like that, and then I want to try to put the power jack on the top of it, because when you line them up on a pedal board, it's easier to have that like that, so it's going to go like that. So I got to make sure there's room, and I got to make sure those poles, I might have to bend them so that they don't touch those pots right there. It doesn't short out. Anyway, it's going to be fun to make it all fit. Usually what you do is you use a template you print off, or usually a template you print off and you just lay it on top. And train, forgot the train there. A lot of fucking bikes go by here. But I usually use a template, and you just cut a piece of paper, you tape it on the case, and you drill it, and it all fits. But I'm going to wing it. I can't find any measurements online for this guy, so I have to just eyeball it all up. So this is going to be fun. I'm going to do that today, is drill that closure. And see how it sounds, and then take it all apart again and paint it up. I'm going to take all those wires off it that I got on there, though. I just put them on there so I could connect it to that breadboard so I could see if it worked. I plugged it into on my desk to a little amp that I had, and said, "Oh, yeah, okay, it's working. There's sound. The knobs are doing what they're supposed to do." Of course, it sounds terrible on a little solid-state amp, so I just wanted to make sure the circuit worked. That's the plan for today. I'm sitting at my desk at night, and then I open up my window here, the patio window, and I get the big fan going, and I've been smoking a pipe in there, and I never smoke a pipe in the house. I'm so afraid that my house is going to stink. I don't smoke inside. I don't smoke inside, it stinks. Yeah. I smoked last night. I've been smoking smoking like aromatics at night, or nice smelling tobacco in the house, not the stinky old English. I love my English. I was smoking the stuff that I got from Unicorn Piper there, the amphora in the red pouch. Smoke it real slow, it's not so bad. I wish I had the amphora rich aroma in the green pouch. Anyway, I'm going to end this here. Sit back, finish this. We'll see ya.